Sorry I wasn't talking to you guys, just thinking deeply. So here we have the 13th dimensional, the 18th dimensional recycler. And just adding materials from the time machine, actually cleaning up the time machine. This thing got recycled right away, because got this thing here. Nice lid. Here we have some old kinetic sand, aka at the time it was a topological teleportation field. Last use, just getting other stuff from all the scribbles, scraps, dibbles, yaps. Some extra wax on one of the time machines. So, I mean, at this point, you're just putting stuff inside. So it's almost like a trash can. I mean, it is a trash can. What makes it a recycler is what we're studying. My hypothesis is, of course, that well, not of course, but, so I don't think I've said it, but too many times anyway, especially not in a specific video. This is really the first 18th dimensional video. But that the 18th dimension might literally be the recycling force. And I've been interested in that for a lot of reasons. You know, I'm very interested in sustainability. Because I think it's simply efficient, as well as being like a good thing to do. I mean, it's a good thing to do because it's sustainable, you know, not really for any other reason. But also because it's very fascinating philosophically, you know, it's like what constitutes trash, you know, and at what stage does something become trash? You know, I kind of think that you really get into calling things trash when you get a sort of black hole of entropy, right? And then you just lose the data, the definitions of what you're dealing with, and it just simply becomes garbage, and you're not able to fit it essentially back into your timeline. So it's not as though it's impossible to fit it into a timeline. It's just that for whatever reason, and then it's even fascinating how much like a black hole it just begins to, the larger it gets, the more it just begins to suck all kinds of different stuff up. But anyway, black holes I think are kind of 12th dimensional, so that's fascinating. You could think of the 18th dimension as an excitation of the 12th dimension, which would be a fascinating way to bridge the two. Anyway, back to the 18th dimension. So, we're studying, really, if the 18th dimension, really, in my hypothesis, is the recycling force. Something akin more to, perhaps, supermassive black holes than black holes themselves. I don't know. But anyway, then you would start to see its force play out in all sorts of situations, well, 18th dimensional situations at the very least, which would be a level of complexity that would be, and part of the reason why I think higher dimensions are, you know, escape so much of our scientific attention is just because they're so easy to fold into, you know, the more dominant forces and be like, oh yeah, there's really just time and space and gravity, and everything is coming off of that. Whereas, you know, I'm thinking, okay, but what if some of that, a fraction, albeit a fraction of that complexity is actually intention. But what's fascinating about it, and even getting this study together, I'm thinking about how I'm kind of moving along to something else right now. I'm thinking about how trash kind of gets encoded into a space or encodes a space in a very specific way, and how having a trash can, starting with the concept of trash before we even get into recycling, having a trash can really help you to lower the general entropy of your station. Like right now, we've rewound the time of the time machine, not perfectly, but we've used this being the housing for a lot of the unused components as a method of rewinding the time, aka cleaning up the time machine. Returning it to a lower entropy state where we can now begin to do other things. Now the question of how something goes from recycling or from trash to recycling is where I'm currently doing a lot of research, attempting to crack this code. Oops. And so let's bring this back here. I think one thing, this was recycled out of it right now. So there's something there. Let's think about how long I've had the recycler. It's been about a week and a half. Okay, so I'm going to do a little equation. There seems to be a ratio present there to how often things actually get recycled out of it. I know some of this stuff seems absolutely out of there, but I only use what's worked for me before until it doesn't work again. But we'll let that encode, because I think recording it has actually super boosted it. And getting the Recycler 18 and video is going to boost it via the time machine effects, which are preferential to recorded content. That's a whole nother video. I'll be back with you guys soon. Thank you for watching.